I'm Jessa Fogel, and this is my senior moment. Out of all the experiences I've had at Derryfield, I can confidently say that participating in athletics has been the most influential in my life. I've been a member of both the cross-country running and Nordic skiing teams at Derryfield for 5 years now, and the best way I can summarize my experience is to say that participating in sports has made me both physically and mentally an athlete, not only in practice, but in everyday life. Let me explain further what being an athlete means, at least to me. It's not just about living a healthy lifestyle, although that is part of it. Of course, being a runner and skier has led me to choose more healthful foods, get enough sleep, etc. That's all critically important to athletic performance, but it's only one dimension of an athlete, what I would call the physical component. Running and skiing also helped me develop a less tangible element of athleticism, the mental outlook. As I became more of an athlete mentally, I began to see myself and the world differently. First of all, mentally becoming an athlete means learning how to handle stressful situations. Everyone gets nervous before a race, but some people can use it to enhance their performance while others collapse under the pressure and anxiety. I used to fall very decidedly into the latter category. However, as I became a more experienced racer, I learned how to channel my fear of not performing well into motivation to push myself harder on race day. Learning how to manage my racing anxiety helped me to approach other stressful situations in my life more gracefully. Learning how to trust is also important. Trusting your coach is essential to athletic performance, since your coach is your #1 resource for improvement. Derryfield makes that a pretty easy thing to learn. Our coaches are there for us 100% of the time to advise us, critique us, and support us. But you also have to trust yourself. Coaches can give you general advice, but only you know what works best for you. It's learning how to make the right decisions for yourself that takes you from being a participant in sports to an actual athlete. But there's still another leap of faith you need to take, and that's trusting yourself to perform well under less than perfect circumstances. This is an important part of mentally being an athlete because it allows you to accept what you can't control. That, to me, was one of the hardest things to learn, since I'm kind of a control freak, especially before a race. But eventually, I figured out that my strength, technique, and prior training would not desert me, even if I didn't have time to go through my ideal pre-race warm-up because the course preview took too long. I'll admit that although it's still tempting for me to spend my energy worrying about the weather, the race course, or how my competitors are doing, I've become much better at adapting to my circumstances rather than wishing they were different. On that note, it's also important to recognize that nobody is racing under ideal conditions. We've all got our own problems to work through. I can't even tell you how many times I've been in a race, seen someone ahead of me, and thought, she's definitely not struggling as much as I am. I'd be convinced that the girl ahead of me, whoever she may have been, was gliding along effortlessly. I was sure that her breathing wasn't as heavy as mine, or that her legs weren't searing with pain. Of course, on these occasions, I'd never end up passing the girl ahead of me, but instead cross the finish line behind her, only to see her collapse on the ground, gasping for breath. I'd see then that her pain was actually greater than mine, not less, and I would come to the unpleasant conclusion that if I put forth the same effort she had, I could have come in ahead. We've all witnessed a similar phenomenon in our everyday lives. Maybe it's that person who seems to have it all together, person who seems to have a perfect life, makes everything look easy. Eventually, you find out that that person too has problems of their own that they're working through. It's easy to overlook the struggles people face when you only see them from the back as they're racing ahead of you, but that doesn't mean those struggles don't exist. Sports taught me that success is all just a mental game. It's about forcing yourself to ignore the pain, self-doubt, and the desire to quit so that you can push yourself to race even faster. It's about making your positive thoughts stronger than your negative ones. It's about striving for your best every race, while still recognizing that the best performance you can give today is different from the best you were able to give at your last race, or the best you'll be able to give at your next. The strength, resilience, and perseverance that I learned through running and skiing has helped me through other challenges in my life. As I look toward my future in college and beyond, I feel even more grateful that Derryfield has helped me to become an athlete. Through running and skiing, I've become a stronger, more confident, and more independent person. So, fellow students, the next time you're sweating your way through sports practice, whether it's this afternoon or next fall, I hope you can take a moment to recognize and appreciate the athlete you've become. Thank you.